Were they friends in the Philippines and they all came to America in the same boat at the same time?
No.
Or were separate?
No, because at that time, Philippines was a colony of the United States. And anybody can come here as long as you have the money to pay. But there was a time when the farmers, there was a strike, you know, first in Hawaii because of the sugarcane industry. The Portuguese people, you know, came ahead than the Pinoys, and they were just taken advantage by the growers.
Big planters,
yeah. So when the Portuguese people struck the strike, you know, not to work, the company put a sign in Manila in the harbor place: sail now and pay later. So Filipinos who didn't have job, a young man who wanted to come here to study, because the Americans sent scholars here who are good to study, and when they came back, they had good jobs, like superintendent of schools, head of some departments. And the Filipinos thought that to come here and study, you will always come back with a good job. And so some Filipinos who have started their high school in the Philippines, when they saw this sign, go to sail now, pay later, they came here. But others really didn't have good education. They are just standby in the wharf or like that, came here. So many of them came to Hawaii, and they were exploited. But some who are really desirous to study, like Mr. Lopez, your husband, Mr. Lorenzo, who had already high school education back home, decided not to stay in the sugarcane field. They came to California and study. And these are the guys who look for families to work during the day and then part-time study in high school. So Mr. Lopez earned his master's degree and PhD in UC. Mr. Lorenzo earned his BA in political science. And these are the people who also started the political Filipino community here. Like Mr. Lorenzo started the Rizal movement. Your husband became a part of this Rizal Post.
American movement.
Right. So this is their story. I hope you follow, guys. But now,
yes,
there are Filipinos who are well trained. There are three segments who came here. The first are the Manongs. The second are those wives of Filipinos who joined the army. And third, during the time when the Sputnik in what's that in Russia,
USSR.
and Kennedy thought that, hey, we will be behind. So the United States opened up because there was enough, because we complained that immigration was only open for European people, but for Asian, here there was even a Mongolian law. You cannot marry, the Manongs cannot marry white people. They can only marry black people. You cannot own properties here. At that time, you cannot own.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle, when they put their house in Berkeley, they have to put it in their children's name because they're not American
Yeah.
citizens. Yeah.
That was the Mongolian law, because I think this was against the Chinese, and so the Filipinos were included. That's why some of them, in order to buy properties, had to marry wife. Mr. Lopez was not even there. His wedding was not solemnized here. His wedding was solemnized in Seattle,
yeah,
Washington.
because they're not supposed to marry a wife.
Oh, yeah. And then Mr.
Mr. Lopez married a white person?
Yeah, white person.
Yeah, she's married to
Mary Lopez.
minister's daughter that was supposed to go to China, and then the war broke off, and then that's when Comadre Mary cannot go to her missionary work in China, so he's still here, and that's how they met.
Mary Lopez was a graduate of school in Tennessee, and she has a master's degree, and she was appointed missionary to go to China. But before she goes to China, she had to be trained to speak Chinese. So she was told by the conference to study Chinese here, and was told to go to San Francisco to a Chinese school, to a Chinese church. But at that time, you see, you have to ride there is no bridge. It's hard to go to San Francisco at that time. So anyway, she found the Filipino church that does not have somebody to play the piano, and since she is a pianist, she decided to play the piano here. Yeah,
and they cannot marry in California, so they had to go to Canada.
Yeah,
to marry there.
And Mrs. Lopez had a very good.
And so does that Mr. Stephen too. She married a German lady.
Right.
Yeah. And they cannot get married here, so they have to go to Canada also.
Yeah.
Good Canadian. Good heart. Hey.
Yeah.
Scots Canadian.
No, Canada was not as innocent as you think.
Well, at least though they married.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So Mrs. Lopez said when they were married and came to California, every time they go to bed, the marriage contract is always at the bottom of the pillow. Because anytime when the police see that there is a Filipino going with a white, and for the first time, they're going to knock at the door and grab the woman from you. So they are always armed. He has that marriage contract.
Oh really? I didn't know that. Oh my goodness.
That's what Mrs. Lopez said.
This Mr. and Mrs. Lopez, the one that played at Daddy's funeral, the youngest son.
Yeah.
That was their son. They picked Daddy to be their godson.
Oh.
Yeah.
He
got a degree. He got a degree in music.
Right.
Peter, yeah.
He studied in France. He was sent to France for music.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're very proud. They're very picky too to pick their godparents.
But the thing is, according to Mrs. Lopez, Mr. Lopez was filling up his car with gas. And there were two white guys in the station. When they looked at Mrs. Lopez and saw that Mrs. Lopez was inside the car, the guy went there, lucky that the window was closed. And he had a cup of coffee. And went to Miss Lopez and just poured that.
I didn't even know that story.
But Miss Lopez said, lucky that
But how come Mr. Stephen and Mrs.
That's not very long ago either.
Yeah. Well, how come Mr. and Mrs. Stephen, they didn't have that incident? And they all live in 21st Street in Oakland also. Or maybe they didn't tell me what happened or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Lopez said.
Is Mrs. Lopez a Methodist or what?
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
Methodist.
Because even in our religion too, did you know that Mr. Lopez was not
Yeah.
welcome to, and Mrs. Lopez, his father is a Methodist
It's a
pastor,
minister.
minister also, and they didn't have nothing to do with Mr. Lopez. Only when their children
Grew up.
grow up, and that's when they were invited. So even in our own religion too, cannot even accept.
It came from the
Yeah.
south. It came from the south.
Yeah.
So-
Well, yeah. That's what I said, you know.
Ang gabi lumalalim, hindi naman hinuhukay natin.
Oh, I only understand.
¿Cómo
two
se dice en
words.
inglés?
In English, it says, the night is deepening, but we do not dig it.
Oh, what does it mean though by digging?
Because it's becoming, it says, the night is,
Passing or what?
the night is, what's that?
Three words.
Yeah, going there. Yeah.
So you don't.
I was trying to get another
yeah.
Tagalog
Ang
speaker.
Ang gabi, lumalalim ang gabi.
Just say,
Yeah,
"Uy."
It's
malalim is
deepening.
deep. Yeah, deepening.
Lumalalim ang gabi. Hindi naman natin
Good to see
hinuhukay.
you.
Oh, I don't understand the whole.
Hukay means
Arnold.
Digging.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister speak Tagalog, but I don't.
Yeah. That's always the saying.
Uh-huh.
Oh, ang gabi naman ay lumalalim.
Can you say that again, Reverend?
Ang gabi ay lumalalim.
Is that Tagalog, Arnie?
Yeah,
Pero
that's
hindi
Tagalog.
naman natin hinuhukay.
Yeah, I know, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
Is it
It's
mean
getting
for the older
dark.
people? That means
getting
they
dark.
cannot stay no more longer?
Yeah.
Is that what it means?
But how about in a literal sense?
Like, gumagabi?
Like time
Ang gabi
to
ay
say
lumalalim.
goodnight, maybe.
Lumalalim ang gabi.
Yeah.
I understand that.
It's getting
They're
dark,
getting dark.
then what?
Pero hindi naman natin hinuhukay.
I mean, you don't see
You're not
longer.
digging.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
So I think it's
Lumalalim
the
means
time of
Deep,
rest.
yeah.
It's too
Deep.
dark.
Dark,
It's
yeah.
getting.
Pero hindi
It's too
naman
late to work.
What does it mean? Are you gonna
You don't
leave
dig the night, so
because
you're
you're
not
feeling
gonna stay
the night is going
Right.
shorter?
Because you don't
Yeah,
dig
that
the
is what
night.
they're saying.
But it's nice kind of philosophy of how the
Word.
words
It's a beautiful
play
word.
on words. So
Yeah.
You mean it's not a joke?
No. I heard that before. No, I heard that
It's
before.
like a joke.
No, the word
You know,
deep
I
is a
enjoyed
sentence,
my
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
The
I
word
had
is
this
It's
idea,
about,
so you're not
it's about
digging.
life.
Yeah.
Ang gabi ay lumalalim. Hindi naman
Lumalalim.
hindi naman hinuhukay.
Yeah.
Time of rest.
See, it's still like the internet.
Oh.
They go backward. And
That's
this
my
is
interpretation.
Filipino.
Yeah.
When I have an Italian friend that when she's
Yeah,
translated
that makes
into
sense.
English, they do backward.
So
Yeah.
it's a lot of saying that really
We were
makes you...
doing all
Must
the-
thought too much into it.
Quit.
Ang gabi ay lumalalim. Hindi naman hinuhukay.
That lobster, we have all more lobster left.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. Tomorrow is
And
service.
has a lot of meat.
It's going to be Christmas
Yeah,
Day.
And I had something for
to go for
Mrs. Ancheta.
Oh.
That orchid's over there.
I
I'm
tell
gonna
me,
snack for lunch tomorrow.
I hope you really finish your studies.
Thank you.
Cereal.
We have a few more years.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
A few is right.
Yeah. She likes the she likes the school system.
Yeah, I like the subject.
What is
I always
the...
feel good that I can go visit Atlanta because it's just like the
At Emory
in
University.
Atlanta.
Oh,
By the time she
the
finishes.
Coca-Cola University?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Coca-Cola University. Exactly.
When the weather is better and I'll get my prednisone shot, and then I would
It
go.
will be hot there in the
That-
summer.
But I wanna wait. When I get the shots, I go right away
Yeah,
because
the
it don't
next
last
day.
long. It would only last 1 month. I made a mistake. because I wanted to feel good when Luis would have his 50th birthday, but I took it too soon. I took it September, and by October I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye now, Frank.
Frank, good to see you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Chris?
Okay, Reverend.